But the real big point I want to make, and maybe bring it back to the military realm, is that if we look at this as a civil war of people who are really the same, but are taking two ideological stances, which is the way I think Dan just said it, and I think the way I feel about it, then militarily, do civil wars result when they end in a tougher opponent or country or a weaker one? I mean, Vietnam fought a civil war, ended up very tough at the end. Korea fought a civil war. They're still in a frozen conflict. Both sides of that conflict are very, very tough today. The American Civil War, after that ended, they incorporated the Confederate veterans and they went all the way to the West Coast and then further all the way over the Pacific. So they got tougher. I mean, you show me a civil war and I'll show you a population with a huge number of combat trained veterans who are tough as hell. And once they've settled their internal disputes, Putin versus anti-Putin, say, and they reunify, they will be horrendously tough. So strategically, the biggest error you can make is foment a civil war that eventually will lead to a tough, much tougher combined opponent.
Unless you expect the side that you want to win to lose.
Yeah, the pro-Putins would win in Ukraine 100%.
Yeah, I think for this especially, imagine how angry and ripped off you'd feel. After if you really feel like you got thrown under the bus by the West, and it's probably gonna go that way because that's how it's so it's been done.
Always goes that way. Yeah.
So it's probably gonna. I don't see us doing anything different. And then how pissed off will those people be? And I mean, it's hard for people to imagine that it's true. You can propagandize and brainwash populations of people. It's a thing you can do, and you know what? It's going to happen. That's part of the reason why this war even started, because the Ukrainians were putting Ukrainian textbooks with Ukrainian history that was getting rewritten into those areas. Right? Those people wanted to. So imagine there's Russian textbooks that get put back into the schools. It's not going to take long for people to, and the story is going to be different. The story is going to be like, these guys came, they took these idiot Nazis that we have. They put these toddlers into power. These toddlers wrecked the country. The country was never the same again. It's a good thing that, and the Russians will be the good guys, in their own history books.
Yeah.
Hey, Brad,
so guys will Germany.
Just to follow up on that point, going back to a previous point that Prada made about the dam and, talking about the political repercussions of it, they're not thinking that far ahead. And they're not thinking about what textbooks are going to be written about them, but absolutely, that's where bad strategic planning comes in.
They're going to write textbooks, but they're going to be about how to have a drone flying around, and then when you spot a convoy, you launch 5 or 6 suicide drones to hit the convoy simultaneously and wipe it out. While another drone films it.
Worse than
like a mini swarm attack. Really, it was really impressive to see that.
Yeah, it's a great point.